Randy Moss had off-the-field stuff, but it wasn't just like T.O. Some of his off-the-field stuff were legal issues. T.O. never had that. That's number one. Number two, we go back to on the field. Randy Moss did have 156 touchdowns. T.O. did have 153. Randy Moss played in 218 games or so. T.O. played in 219 games. Randy Moss had 982 receptions. T.O. had 1,078. Randy Moss had almost 700 yet less receiving yards than T.O. And on top of it all, he's been on teams too. He was in Minnesota. He was in Oakland. He was in New England. He was in San Francisco. On two of those teams, there were questions as to whether or not Randy Moss ever gave full effort. Not ever, but there were times when they questioned
He was
his
accused
effort.
of quitting on plays. He was accused of it. No doubt about it. Quitting on
plays. He was
plays.
accused about it. When was T.O. accused of that? When? When did that happen? Never. So my point is, if Dan Fouts and those folks in that Hall of Fame room who didn't vote for T.O., and that was their excuse, how do you ignore it when it comes to Randy Moss? I don't know how that works. So what I'm saying is your point is accurate. Two wrongs don't make a right. You absolutely, positively must put T.O. in, or you must leave Randy Moss out to justify the explanation that they gave. None of it is satisfactory. They both should be in.
There are tough calls for the Hall of Fame, borderline cases. And by the way, I'm glad TD got in. I wouldn't have put him in. He was a Hall of Fame talent, but tragically, injury robbed him of half his prime. There are other guys who probably shouldn't be in, even though they were great players or very, very good players for a long period of time. That's not T.O. or Randy Moss. They're the definition of Hall. Like, are people crazy? They're making this harder than it has to be.